Hi, everyone. Welcome again to Tablet Time. I just wanted to do a couple of these problems here for you so you can kind of hear my reasoning process as we go. I wanted to do, well, let's do number 4. And why not? Let's do number, I don't know, 9. Why not? Okay. So first thing I do when I'm doing these is I go ahead and put them into standard form. That just, it's kind of a habit, but it's a good habit to do, especially if I'm going to trick you like in number 4. So there you see the premises and conclusion are out of order. The conclusion is in the middle. The conclusion indicator, therefore, uh, you know, is basically right in the middle there. So the conclusion is some sociopaths are alcoholics, and so it's out of order there, basically. By the way, I didn't write that problem. That comes from Balaguer's critical thinking book. In any case, I don't know what was going on with Balaguer when that happened. All right, so let me put these into standard form here. I usually begin with the conclusion because that's what allows you to know the order of the premises. So the conclusion here is some sociopaths are alcoholics. That just means some S-R-A. And now we can get rid of these distracting categories, right? If you talk about alcoholics and sociopaths, your logic muscle gets short-circuited or something and you can't think critically. But when you're just talking about letters, it's a lot easier. Okay, the subject term of the conclusion must be found in the second premise. So let's go ahead and do that now. S, where is S? So some people who need help are sociopaths. That's the second premise. Let's say H, people that need help are S. And now you see here that the subject term of the conclusion is found in the second premise. Okay. And of course, that means that the other sentence goes here as premise 1, all A R H. Okay, so that's the first thing that I do. Afterwards, you essentially begin to populate the Venn diagram here. So it's pretty straightforward. You take the categories from the conclusion and just, label them as such. And then whatever's left over goes up at the top circle. Okay, we choose the order of that we're going to diagram these. So universal statements go first. That's a universal statement, right? So premise 1 goes first. That means that premise 2 goes second. Okay, let's do all A, R, H. So the circle of interest here is the A circle. So we're really looking at this here circle there. But we want to say is that every single A in existence is actually also H. So what we want to do is any part of the A circle that isn't inside the H circle basically logically doesn't exist. There's nothing there. Every A that exists is actually within this here football shape. So that's what premise 1 is saying. Okay, now we have to diagram some HRS. Well, how do we do that? What we want to do is, first of all, let me show the area, the region of interest, I should say, is right here. That's the intersection of H and S. So we know that we're going to do something in that region. Now, should we put the X here? No, because that would be saying that something is H, S, and A. That reminds me of a famous paper from psychology, telling more than we can know. So you don't know that this X goes into the A category. That's the same reason why you can't put the X over here. At that point, you're saying that you know that it isn't in the A category, but you don't know either of those things. All you know is some HRS, which means for all you know, it could be here or it could be there. Because you don't know, all you can do is diagram it straddling the line, as Herrick says. So that's That's the way you diagram that one. There's nothing else you can do with premise 2. Okay, so we also need to draw some X's here for the existential position. Alcoholics, people that need help, and sociopaths do exist. So actually, this X right here, the one that we just drew, already takes care of H and S. All we need to do is write in an X for the A category. So because this one, just so that we're clear, that's not clearly an A. That could be an A, that could not be an A, but we need to be clear here that A's exist somewhere. And the only region where they could exist is in here, in that yellow region right there. So we don't know where it goes. Does it go, does it go here? Does it go here? We don't know. So as such, we have to do another one of those cases where we straddle the line. Okay, well, there you go. All right, so what do we know at this point? Well, we've diagrammed all the information from the premises. Now what we do is check to see if the conclusion is actually diagrammed already. So sum S R A. Does this here diagram show conclusively that sum S R A? Well, that's a candidate. Let me use a different color here. That one is a candidate. That's an S, and it could be an A, but you don't know for sure that it's an A. So that one, that's definitely not establishing the conclusion. What about this one? Well, that's for sure an A, but you don't know that it's an S. The conclusion says sum SRA. What would that look like if it were really actually diagrammed? It would look like this. It would be right in the middle between S and A, unambiguously there. So as a matter of fact, we don't actually know conclusively that sum SRA. As such, this argument is invalid. Okay, that's how you do that one. Let me clear everything here now. All right, so let's do number 9 now. Some A are not C, some all C or B, thus some A are not B. Well, let's go ahead and get the conclusion on there. Some A are not B. And we need the subject category A to be in premise 2, which means that some A are not C goes there. Okay, which means that the other one, all C are B, is premise 1. Okay, so what do we know at this point? Well, we know that we definitely need to to label the circles correctly, not incorrectly like I just did. So we just drag the categories from the conclusion and we put the C up on top. Okay, so all right, what's next? We have to choose the order here. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one first because it's universal. I mean, that one's go second. So all C are B. Every single C in existence is in the B region. So that means that this section right here simply does not exist because every C is within this football shape right here. All right, so that's every C is in the B region. Okay, now we need to go for some A are not C. Interesting. So we know that we need to focus in here. It's an A for sure, and it's not C. That means that this region right here, maybe I should do that in blue, why not? This region right here, which is C, it's not in there. Okay, so if this A is not in this region right here, the blue region, what's left? Well, all that's left is either this region or this region. As such, we need to choose where it goes. Now, we don't actually know where it goes, so we have to straddle the line. It could be a B, it could not be a B, who knows? All we know is that it's definitely not in this region right here. Okay, so that is premise 2. Let's, well, because this is just a bunch of letters, We don't know if we should take the existential position. So we're going to leave it as that. Okay, so now we assess for validity. Some A are not B. Is there an A that is definitively not B? Well, this one is an A, but it might be a B. So you don't know for sure that it's not B, which is what the conclusion says. So let me go ahead and just write that now. It is another invalid.